Hi, my name is Lafayette Tyger, and my presentation will be on human trafficking. We're going to take a quick look at a video of a human trafficked victim and what she went through during her time being human trafficking.
I am Dr. Niecy Hamilton, and I am a survivor of human trafficking. When I was 15, I had aged out of foster care, and I was homeless. And I remember running into a homegirl who told me, hey, you know, I have a solution for your problem. I work as a waitress at a strip club. You can use my ID to work at another strip club while I work at this strip club, and all you're doing is waitressing. You make money, my boyfriend will keep your baby, and hey, you know, you'll be good. As the boyfriend's keeping my baby, he goes, you can't get your kid back unless you make me $200 a day. He's going to the strip club, bragging about how much money he's making off of me. And there's another pimp that's sitting in the club. He sends a message to the girls that he's already pimping out to me that I can make $200 a day faster if I'm no longer a waitress, but a stripper, because he wants to see what am I willing to give up or what am I willing to sacrifice. That was barrier testing. Let me test your limits. The betrayal comes in, baby, you ain't been working. It's hard for me to get your hair and your nails done like I used to. I need you to bring in some money. So we're talking about from 15 to 19. I had already been trafficked and sleeping with every bit of about 1,500 men at this point. I made a decision to enlist into the Navy without my pimp knowing about it. And when he found out, I still got beat. And I remember begging the officer, please don't arrest me. Please don't arrest me. I said, I'm leaving to the Navy. This is the only chance. This is the only chance I got to get away. I need you to help me. And he looked at me and he said, I believe you. But had I been arrested that night, I wouldn't have survived human trafficking.
During the 1700s, when African Americans were forced into slavery, that was our first encounter of human trafficking. And since then, human trafficking has been more complex, covert, and a brutal criminal enterprise internationally. Human trafficking is a serious crime that has a catastrophic effect on the victim, and it can happen to anyone. No one is exempt from being a victim to this heinous crime. Many people are oblivious to human trafficking because that's not the first thing that comes to your mind when it comes to a crime being committed. We normally think of murder, rape, grand larceny or something like that nature. But this crime right here is something more severe. This crime of human trafficking happens to 20 million people yearly, according to the Department of Homeland Security. Human trafficking involves the use of force, fraud, or coercion to obtain some type of labor or commercial sex act. And that's by the Department of Homeland Security in 2022. They also states that it can happen to any age, gender, race, nationality. It doesn't matter what color your skin is. It can happen to you. You can be the victim. You can be in a perfect mansion. Parents are rich. It can happen to you. You can be in the poverty in the slums, don't have nothing to eat. It can happen to you. You could be in a middle class family thinking that life is good, and this can happen to you. But you are at higher chances of it happening to you because the perpetrators prey on the mental and emotional vulnerabilities of their victim, the promise of economic opportunities, and the repayment of debts, to name a few. That's what they will put on you. That pressure. In 2023, human traffic statistics were 156,330 30 individual cases that was reported. Also, it was reported in 189 countries. Let's take a moment to look at that process. We have 195 countries worldwide, and it happened in 189 countries. That's worldwide. It doesn't only affect the people that's in the United States, the people that's crossing the border. It doesn't affect the people that's just in Southeast Asia or the people that's in Europe. Worldwide, people are being trafficked, sold, exploited for forced labor or sexual exploitation or forced marriages that you see, or organ removals or military service, just to name a few of incidents of human trafficking. Women makes up 65% of human trafficking, and young females are 19%. When it comes to sexual exploitation of young females, that's 77%. And males, don't get it twisted. You as well can be a victim of human trafficking. Human trafficking don't, like how I stated earlier, it don't care about age, race, gender, or nationality. You can be a victim as well. So what we're going to do is take a look at this video again. Cut. What we're going to do is take a look at this video of human trafficking and get their perspective on what happened.
Lukungu kaya la mude wa chile so yin atin atama thainya lathak khan chan pisa chan khan ya la ro 80 လောက်ရှိတယ်ရခိုင်နှုန်းအနေနဲ့လေ80လောက်ရှိတယ်ပြီးအငားကိုဝင်ဆောင်လုပ်ငန်းလုပ်ခန်းတာပေါ့နော်အဲ့ဒါလဲ20ရာခိုင်နှုန်းလောက်ရှိရပေါ့နော်အမျိုးသမီးတွေပေါ့နော်တရုတ်မရအဖြစ်အကန်တမတို့ရဲ့သဘောတူညီချက်မပါဘဲနဲ့ပေါ့နော်လက်ထပ်ထိမ်းများပြီးစားခြင်းခံရတာရှိတယ်လက်ထပ်ထိမ်းများခြင်းခံရတယ်ရွှေငွေ3000နဲ့ပေါ့နော်3000 4000အများဆုံးအလောက်ပဲရတာပေါ့နော်အဲ့နေရာရတယ်ပြောတော့သူကပြောတယ်တမီးတို့ကိုသူကခိုးပြီးတော့လူလိုက်ခိုးခိုင်းတော့ပေါ့လူလိုက်ခိုးခိုင်းတော့အားလုံး10ရက်လောက်ရခဲ့တယ်တော်ရရလို့စုစီမလားပင်ရလောက်ကြာလဲဆိုတော့4ရက်လောက်ကြာတယ်4ရက်5ရက်လောက်ကြာဒီပန်ကောက်တက်ဘူးလမ်းတော်လမ်းနဲ့လမ်းဆောက်ပြီးသွားတယ်10ရက်လုံးဘူကလာတော့ပစံတောင်းကနေမှဗာပြောလဲဆိုတော့သူတို့ကိုတွေဦးတဲ့ငါတို့ရောင်းစားလိုက်ပြီပေါ့နော်ရောင်းလဲရောင်းစားလိုက်ပြီတဲ့သူတို့ကိုတွေငါတို့ပေါ့နော်တနေရာမှာခိုင်းစားရတယ်ပေါ့တငယ်ချင်းတွေပါလေအကုန်လုံးပဲပေါ့ငါးလေးတွေပါလေပါသွားပြီလို့ပြောတယ်အဲ့ဒါနဲ့အဲ့လိုပြောတော့တမီးစရာသူကပစံမှုညစ်ပြီးတော့တာအောင်နဲ့အိမ်မှာ
As you can see from that video, human trafficking victims live with the ever-changing. They're changing because the things that they went through affected them to their deepest core. They suffer psychological trauma, physical abuse from being trafficked. The different types of psychological disorders that comes from that I can think off the top of my mind would be anxiety, depression, yes, that's PTSD, substance abuse to cope with the trauma that they went through. According to the American Psychological Association, those are the things that these victims suffer from. Me personally, I couldn't imagine the horrific image that goes through these victims' minds that keeps replaying over and over. Being drugged, being forced drugs, physical abuse, imprisonment, food deprived, and forced into physical or sexual acts daily. Daily, because of human trafficking. And I know when they get done and they get saved from human trafficking, they try to reintegrate them back into the normal society is going to be difficult for them. One, due to the fact that they had the human rights stripped away from them. The basic foundation of being a human was stripped away. They had no choice. They couldn't make any decisions for themselves. So to cope with that, majority of the victims turn to drugs to cope with that pain, or alcohol. Victims also tend to be isolated as well to deal with the trauma. To avoid this from happening to yourself, a family member, a friend, or just some random person, you need to be able to identify the outliers. And some of the outliers are 18 years old prostitution that you can see, a young person that's out there on the corner. Physical abuse, bruises all over their body. Poor living conditions. Them working where they work at. Or, let's see, the person that you can't even speak to. You're not even able to speak to them, and you have a person that's hovering over them, like, no, don't talk to them and stuff like that nature. Those can be also signs of a person that's being human trafficked. So this could be the difference between saving a life or letting one dwindle away. So if you are a person that suspects a person of being human trafficked, please call the human traffic law enforcement at 1-866-347-2423 or the National Trafficking Hotline at 1-888-373-788. Without a doubt, you can also contact your local law enforcement. I know in the United States it's 911, but maybe in your country it's something else. So you can just call them, have them respond to your anonymous tip as well. And I'm gonna leave you guys with a quote. People need to know to recognize trafficking when they see it, and how to follow up with the appropriate actions that will lead to the freeing the woman or prosecuting the traffickers. That's American Psychological Association. The last thing I will leave you with is stay vigilant, save lives, and that will prevent you from becoming a victim, or prevent somebody that you see from being a victim as well. Because at the end of the day, we only have each other to watch after, and there's a lot of people in this world that wish us harm. So if we look out for one another, we can prevent these heinous crimes from happening. My name is Lafayette Tyger, and hopefully you are now informed of what the outliers are, how to report, and what you need to end up looking for, so yourself or your family members or somebody that you see won't be the next victim of human trafficking. Thank you.